super that went 3 games. Both these teams had to go 3 in their supers last weekend. Oregon State got past Lake Jarrett's Florida State team. Chase there, 2-2.
Another one? Yeah, Weber's emergence from a power standpoint, a big reason why this Oregon State team has had such a complete season offensively, especially hitting the long ball.
2-2. Perfect with 96. That's 3 Ks for Patrick Forbes in the first 4 that he's faced.
Chris, I think he was looking slider.
Oh.
And that would appear to be the move right there. After he got him swinging on the slider before, this is pumped right down the middle at 96. And not a lot of movement right there from Webb.
Yeah, and these hitters have a tall task, even if it was perfect hitting conditions with the stuff both these guys are featuring. But when you factor in the shadows right now, it is not fun to be hitting.
Yeah, Forbes in another strike to AJ Singer. And again, Forbes being on this stage, former two-way guy, only pitched 9 innings as a freshman. Spent a lot of time batting in the middle of the lineup, playing the outfield. Then got injured last year in his 1 plate appearance. And he's healthy and starting here today. And he told us the other day, if you would have told me I'm starting game 1 in Omaha my junior year, probably wouldn't have believed it. He's ahead on Singer, the junior from Glendale, Arizona. Up and away. Patrick Forbes, 1-2. Outside 2-2 on Singer. Pretty good week for AJ Singer. He turned 21 on Tuesday, and now 3 days later plays in Omaha. Junior college transfer not far from here at Iowa Western. Wants to be a coach. Flares this one behind first. Tank Davis goes back into foul ground and wins it for number 2.
Do it, youngster. Known for the bat, but has started to develop a reputation with the glove here down the stretch. That's pretty nifty. Pretty nifty from the power hitting first base. At first, you got to track it. It always slices back towards the field as you approach it. See, that one just stayed in. All's well that ends well.
Hang with him.
Yeah, that's right. That's why you have a big glove over there.
2 down bases empty, and this is Tice Peterson. DH in the 6th spot from Kirkland, Washington. The guy's been dealing with really bad shin splints, Mitch Canavan's head coach was telling us earlier today. And it's just fighting for a ton to be in the lineup and post. 1-1 on Peterson. Peterson had some big moments in elimination games in the regional against TCU, St. Mary's, and USC to get here. Nasty from Forbes.
Well, both coaching staffs were interested to see how their talented right-handers were going to handle the moment. I think they're both feeling pretty good about it right about now. It has not only been explosive stuff, but a strike-throwing fest as well.
1-2. Moment so far from both these guys. A case drum for Patrick Forbes, and he has fanned 4.
I think the boys brought the good stuff on both sides today. Fastball's been mid-90s, and then come back with this. Back-to-back sliders. Forbes has struck out 2 in the first, 2 in the second. A couple of scoreless innings to start. We will talk. Former champion of this, and now the head coach of Oregon State, Mitch Campbell. We get back.
With a great idea, you just want to get things down on paper. Grammarly is the second set of eyes that helps me get work done. My name is Claudia. I'm a marketing manager and adjunct professor. Grammarly takes a lot of the heavy lifting off my plate. With AI Compose, it will give me a great outline to start with so that I can focus on expanding and elevating. I use Grammarly every time I write because I can put my trust in it to help me communicate effectively. Download Grammarly for free.
Quarterback by himself in the backfield.
This turbo hybrid makes your whole team feel valuable.
Brisket, anyone? Even when you're away. The Kia Carnival Turbo Hybrid with 33 mpg. Kia, movement that inspires.
Fresh set of downs after the completion.
When is a house more than a home?
They'll keep it on the ground.
When it opens the next door for your kids.
So weird.
And he was off to
No.
a
Turn your home equity into cash by refinancing with Rocket Mortgage. Get started at rocket.com.
Speed by the ball carrier there, Reese, picking up a huge chunk of yards.
I can't imagine any
Welcome
reason.
back to the Men's College World Series presented by Capital One. Joined now with Mitch Cannon. Pretty special stuff from your pitcher. We see the stuff. What is it about the mental makeup for him that he's been his best on the biggest moments as a freshman?
Yeah, I think he was born with that and just continued to mold himself into a champion. Just the way he handles adversity. Like as soon as he stepped on, as soon as he stepped on campus, and I felt like even before that, he had such a good rapport with all the guys around him and respect given because that guy works extremely hard. He cares about the guys around him, extremely humble. I mean, that's the guy anyone would want in their clubhouse all the time.
Pretty special matchup on both sides. You mentioned to me off camera about the shadows, but what adjustments do you need at the plate against Patrick Forbes?
Well, making sure that we're seeing the ball before we start to swing at it would be important. Staying short because he's obviously both guys got really good stuff, breaking balls that really got bite to them, and heaters that jump. And so it's for me. I think that we're gonna have to stay short to the baseball, not try to do too much. You get big at all, or you get underneath it, you're not gonna have any success. So getting on top of the baseball, trying to punch line drives to start until you start getting a rhythm, and then open it up a little bit.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you.
Chris, thank you. Davis went around on a breaking ball, and he strikes out. And Dax Whitney has fanned 6 so far of the 7 that he has faced.
So Berkey is one of those nights when the stuff on both sides is this good, where you just got to pick one. I mean, we're either going to sell out for a hitter, or we're going to sell out for a break. You got to pick one because it feels like at least now, first time through the order, that if you're up there thinking at all, you got no chance.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing 2 offenses that, for the most part, have been really, really good all year long. Not only dealing with elite arms, but they're not seeing the baseball well at all. That is clear by the number of swings and misses we're seeing. Uncomfortable swings and misses.
So what Mitch Cannon said, you got to
Yes.
see it first.
Helpful.
Usually does, yes. New hitting philosophy.
It's Alex Alisea, the sophomore shortstop, a ball and a strike on Alisea. And so we mentioned Whitney turned down a lot of money to come to the college game. He was telling us the other day it was all about his money because he really wanted to be in college baseball. And so he set a very high number, and if someone was going to get there, great, but otherwise he was going to be very content being a Beaver.
Well, and what we've seen, I would say more so in the last 5 years than we ever saw before, is when you sign out of college, you get there quick if you're ready for it.
On the ground sharply, but right at A.J. Singer, who handles 2 down, and the swing and this stuff's been good for Dax Whitney.
Yeah, this will work when you strike out 6 of the first 7. That usually means it's coming out of your hand okay. The fastball is electric, and this has been the difference maker so far. 20-mile-an-hour difference. At time to bottom curveball that he's thrown to both righties and lefties. He's thrown more today to righties than he has historically over the course of the year, but he's really had control of all of them.
I think the most impressive thing, a lot of those pitches would finish as strikes.
Yeah.
Those are not all chase out of the zone swings and misses. And that's when you know that the deception of the difference between heater and breaking ball speed and the amount of vertical break is really full in this Louisville lineup.
Kamayu Neighbors now sprays one into left, but Gavin Turley hangs with it through the sun. He says, wow, to Cannon Raider, his center fielder. And Dax Whitney is perfect thanks to Turley the first time through.
Yeah, if you're going to play left field at the Chuck, you got to deal with the sun. Hang in there, Mr. Turley. Well done.
They go back to work after the break.
You better than your mama.
Turn your pastime
Go around.
into your full time. Your personal style into your signature brand.
Throw, it's Madden.
Do it yourself. Create your website on Wix. This turbo hybrid makes your whole team feel good. Even when you're away. Kia Carnival Turbo Hybrid with 33 mpg.
Okay, good move.
Kia, movement that inspires.
No. Oof. Not like me.
When is a house more than a home? And it opens the next door for your kids.
So we do it?
Okay. Turn your home equity into cash by refinancing with Rocket Mortgage. Get started at rocket.com.
I'm the voice inside your head. And while you're typically athletic, right now, Brick, you're pathetic. Shank. And if you didn't have the right auto coverage, cost this could hit you out of nowhere.
This is what joint pain looks like when you keep moving with Aleve. Just one Aleve. 12 hours of uninterrupted joint pain relief. Aleve. Also try liquid gels for fast and long-lasting pain relief.
That's College World Series, Omaha, Nebraska. Warren Morris immortalized the most famous swing you could imagine in a championship setting. On a gorgeous Friday night at Charles Schwab Field. Oregon State third baseman Trent Carraway was saying to us the other day, this place is like Disneyland. And they have all made it here. We've got 8 teams. This is game 2. Double elimination format within the 2 brackets. 2 champs emerge in a best-of-3 series that starts next Saturday. No base runner yet in this game. This is Jacob Craig, a hulking figure. First baseman in the 7th spot against Patrick Ford. 13 home runs for Craig, one of the heroes in the Super in Game 1 against Florida State. And Corvallis had a jumping scene at Goss Stadium last weekend. Had a game-tying hit in Game 1. Another look from Upcam with Angel Campos. That's just down 2-1. It's at 41 cameras, including that one.
Where's your controller?
Boss has been locked in, much like Dax Whitney. 2-1 to Craig. It's down 3-1.
I was in the seats last week in Spruce from
Here.
a lot of sense of single game attendance.
Where's your controller?
You had dogs
What's your controller?
watching
Where is it? Where is it?
and other humans as well.
What? You're not on the computer.
Trying to watch the game.
No. No.
At times,
Hazel.
at and beyond Jim Patterson Stadium in Louisville, shirts were optional as well. That's right.
They had the ladder for
Yeah.
well, boy, they just parked it right on the overpass and all the fun again still watching it.
Streams a good time. Sure. Watching over.
Said that so many times.
This comes up again and it hits Jacob Craig and
You
well,
get
folks, we've got a base runner. 40 minutes into this one, Craig is on as he wears 95.
Somebody check that baseball. That is a grown man. He just wore the 95 and didn't blink on his way to first base. Mitch Canham tells us he thinks legitimately he could enter the world's strongest because he fits the profile.
So, Jane.
Remember watching those on Our Family of Networks? Like,
Yeah,
Jaworski,
Yeah.
Samuelson,
I'm watching the ocean videos.
and Craig, 6'5", 241. Cannon Reader squared. It's a strike out of the 8th spot to center fielder with Craig aboard.
Where is it?
Reader is the junior from Bend, Oregon. Huge swing into Supers, game 3 in the first inning against Florida State. Wes Mendez, when Reader sent one 404 feet, and that place went into delirium. They were just happy to see home baseball games in Corvallis as well, because there were not a lot of them, as Chris Button told you earlier.
They decided to lose the first game in regional just to get their home fans in the home games.
Those kind of.
0-2. Reader on the ground gently at second. Kamayu Neighbors flips. And looks like his turn. Into number 2.
Right there. You know, Dan McDonald has got a grin on his face because that is as slick as a 4.63. You will see altogether back on a slider. Kamayu with a quick backhanded flip, and then Allison short transfer, plenty of arm. And again, Ted Davis on the back end showing you that flexibility. This young man will get after it over there at first base, and the Cards flashing some leather here early in this.
This defense has to step up at some point and be a lot more physical.
So 2 down, bases empty, and now the 9th spot in the right fielder, Easton Tolt from Everett, Washington, who has worked a ton of walks this season. He was in there the first 2 games of the Super Regional and then didn't play in the 3rd game. Mitch Canham said to us today, get him back in there and run him out. Of course, it was a left-on-left against Florida State's lineup last weekend with 3 lefties in the starting rotation for the Seminoles. Perky, we've talked about the shadows. Is it harder to hit spin or fastballs?
Yes.
All of it?
Say if it's 96 with carry or big foul breaking balls, just because you're so in between. And KP talked about it earlier. Should I sit with them? Yes, you should, but then you still got to be able to identify the ball on a strike. And I think where both these guys are making it tough is the hitters feel like they have to cheat. That's why you're seeing some pretty bad swings and misses on off-speed pitches.
No.
I think it should be mandatory that you design stadiums like this, where you have like 4 innings of shadows to start.
Hey, did you know that the fans like runs, Kyle?
They come a little bit later, and now we can talk about the athletes front and first so, and then we'll see if the offense shows up.
Well, quarterback went down behind center pretty quick that time, and it makes you wonder as a play caller against this
Patrick Forbes ready with another 1-2 to Toltz. Runs up and away.
and changing the launch point.
Toby Forbes has sorted up MLB draft boards this season. It's been the first month of the year. The coaching staff for the Cards thinks the best is still in front of this kid. Door-breaking ball and 5 strikeouts for Patrick Forbes. We told you this was going to be good with both these arms. Forbes has fanned 5. 9 up, 9 down with a double play. And Dax Whitney is perfect through 3. 6 Ks. He's back on the next.
Hey, you're supposed to be sitting there being quiet. Oh, you better not.
Into your full time.
Your foot down.
Bracelet.
Into your signature brand. Do it yourself. Create your website on Wix.
Touches of black. They seem loud, but they say much. They stand for eloquence, fire, interesting.
Sit your butt down.
Though they're darker than the darkest night, they make you start.
Get that out your mouth.
Rest of the chocolate.
Movement that inspires.
Gratefully? How you better see it, that seat.
What the train looks like when you keep
No, ma'am.
the leave. Just want to leave. 12 hours to a leave. So try liquid gels for fast and long-lasting pain relief. That one word. Trial. 2 words anyone can hear. Because when we're up against this, we're all the help we can.
Your daddy's being nice when you sit up here.
Why do you drink all her drink?
Time for the 4th inning on the way in the Men's College World Series, and no score between Louisville and Oregon State. Because of Patrick Forbes. Middle-batter's face, first time through the order. Dax Whitney, and they
Yeah, right here.
11 strikeouts.
We thought schemes and number were good. What do we got, folks?
Second time through the order, and how about a change-up to start?
Got one of those too.
Now
Just
pick
in
it up
case.
and keep
I
doing
got
it.
one of those. It's the new school kick change. That's Whitney's role.
And drops in the curve. KP, please give me everything you know about the kick change.
Lots of different creates.
Sit. Leave it alone.
It's the kick.
Right side.
Fastball, and it's for Dax Whitney. He's been pretty good.
So we got to go inside baseball. We're doing the things. What are you going to read?
Yeah, right now.
The Knoxville in a couple weeks. I heard guys starting to switch it. So in the middle of the game, I just pull it up on YouTube, trying to figure out exactly what it looks like coming out of somebody's
Try to find your bottle when you get ready for
Michael J.
bed.
Monaco over there's got to go big score.
Now, sister, deep top.
Yes, why not?
A little different look.
But now we have an expert, folks, and you in
You
America
gonna sit here and be
are better
good?
off for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's
No.
ultimately, it's got a little bit of a, I mean, McDuckle loose to it. You let it go.
That's Magic Vader.
The cat.
Again,
There's a kick change right there.
That's a low spin. Low spin.
Go. Leave it alone.
To the guy a little bit.
So he gets it wide on it, so he spreads all his hands up, but then his index finger
Better.
digs into the baseball a little bit, and he extends that index finger at release.
he's facing Matt Klein here after Lucas Moore struck out, and Whitney's 2-1. Tip foul.
It doesn't look much different to start the fourth here, but over the course of the season, second time through the order, the OPS is about 125 points higher versus Dax Whitney. So let's see if there is any fatigue here from this red-hot start.
No swing on a peel down the line.
You know, sometimes these guys come out so sharp, but there's also a rush of adrenaline that can fade as you get into the middle innings.
Patrick Forbes trying to stay loose. 3-2 from Whitney. And a strikeout with the kick change.
Wow. Berkey, break it down for him.
Well, you kick it and then it changes. It has a two-seam action, so Matt Klein's swinging at it like a heater, and he's right over the top of it. The low spin allows this thing to just drop off the table, and you know they're having conversations now in the Louisville dugout like, hey, guys, I got bad news. We now have a third pitch that has entered the fray.
That's just this other thing. Yeah, his fourth is pretty good, too. It's that pronation, too. He gets all the way over the top of it at the end, and it gives it that arm side down movement at the end.
Jake Monroe, the batter here with 2 outs and no one on against Whitney. And Dax was telling us the other day, his whole life has struggled to throw changeups. Had a circle change, but that bothered his shoulder, so he was searching. Said he was kind of throwing like 92-mile-an-hour changeups. They all stunk, he said. So he was searching for anything, and he landed on this.
He went and found it.
And he is rolling right now in Omaha.
70% strikes tonight, too. He's hammering this up. No chase there.
Again, a guy who said no to $3.2 million in the second round of the draft last summer. And entered college baseball as one of the premium recruits, and he has totally lived up to it as one of the best freshman arms in the country. Got 2 to Monroe.
That's a great
Good
take.
take.
Probably the best take of the ball game right there, and that's what you want to see if you're a Cardinal fan. Some of these hitters start to identify the shape and the spin of the breaking ball.
2. That one is 3 challenges. And Louisville's got its first base runner. A Shepard with 2 strikes from Chief in a row, and he's aboard in the 4th.
That's big time at bat. And the take from the previous pitch is what leads to the result there. It's hit up on the board because it's a hitter that's now seen the ball deep. That's exactly what happens as he shoots a backside base hit.
And now Eddie Chance ringing out for Eddie King Jr. Senior DH in the cleanup spot. I got a bunch of those that he was serenaded with during the Super Regionals last weekend at Jim Patterson Stadium in what was a fabulous scene.
Yeah, that was one he'll never forget. When the home crowd and the place is packed and they're on their feet chanting Eddie, Eddie, and then you deliver. That's about as special of a moment as a college baseball player will ever have.
You should call her me. I called her earlier though, and she said she won't come to you. I ain't scared of your daddy. Oh.
Fastball for a strike, and this was the scene at Supers last weekend when Eddie King Jr. came through.
Love with
Deliver on a big stage, and then the whole crowd chanting your name. That's pretty good right there.
That's why you come back. Just moments like that, moments like this.
He's trying to solve Dax Whitney the second time. Struck out on a curveball to begin the second, his first time. And Jake Monroe aboard. Dax Whitney's 1-2. On the ground left side, and 3 Geneva Arquettes. Back-to-back 2-out singles for the Cards here in the fourth.
All right, a couple 2-strike base hits. You see 18 was way up on the handle of the bat right there, and certainly not the two
You got Xbox and PlayStation.
in this Louisville lineup, but just some momentum as the Cards start to scratch a little something on Whitney here in the fourth.
And you had mentioned second time through, a couple of knocks, and now the middle of the order turns to Garrett Pike, right fielder in the 5 spot, who struck out on a curveball his first time. That's a land strike at 71, top of the zone.
Okay, but you talked about picking a pitch. To me, right here, this is where you pick a pitch. If you're
What are you picking?
Pike, I'm banking that he slowed me down with the first pitch curveball, and I am sitting on a heater. I know I'm behind in the count, but I don't think you're going to get a ton of these opportunities. Why be in between until you get to 2 strikes? It's like 3 2 strikes. Hunt one. You've seen him once. This is where you really have to be convicted in your approach.
He's hung 2 curveballs here, maybe a fastball. Sit that.
I told you I'd been on it after the first one. Now he's thrown two breaking balls, and like you said, now he's missed. He's thrown 3 in a row. He's missed with 2 of them. Like this is what you're looking for here if you're a middle order hitter with a runner in scoring position.
It's a veteran bat and Garrett Pike against the freshman Dax Whitney. 2-1. And there was the fastball elevated.
That's the one he wants you to swing. That's the one. 2-1 fastball count, and it just sneaks right up and out of the zone.
First danger of the night for Dax Whitney. 2-2. Swing and a miss. 95 to lead 2 in the 4th inning.
So to me, KP, this is a hitter who was still in between, and even though he's behind after the breaking ball, he gets 2 swings and misses because Pike is still slowed down from those benders, and the fastball erases the lefty.
At Great Wolf Lodge, the splashes are huge, the action never stops, and the smiles come easy. So bring your pack together and summer savings are here. Book now and save up to 30%.
With Apartments.com capturing the hearts of hundreds of millions of renters, everybody wants the secret to our success, but they're never going to get it. Will they, Craig? No, sir. Or the secret to the most rental listings. Not to mention our secrets for making renting easier with Matterport's 3D virtual tours and online applications. Oh, this is good. Yay! Yay! Apartments.com. Ooh, the place to find a place.
This turbo hybrid makes your whole team feel grounded,
Risk it, anyone?
even when you're away. The Kia Carnival Turbo Hybrid with 33 mpg. Kia, with movement that inspires.
This is what joint pain looks like when you keep moving with Aleve. Just one Aleve, 12 hours of uninterrupted joint pain relief. Aleve. Also try liquid gels for fast and long-lasting pain relief.
Welcome back to Omaha. Scoreless game in the bottom of the fourth. Joined now with Louisville head coach Dan McDonnell. Been able to put some balls in play now. What's the difference second time through the order against Tex Whitney?
Well, the difference is he's starting to land his breaking ball too. The first time through the lineup, it was a lot of fastballs. Man, he's throwing 3 pitches for strikes. It's really tough on hitters that first time through the lineup. Both guys hit this bat up. And but you can see we had a couple of hits, they just had a hit, so you just got to keep competing.
You told us with Patrick Forbes, sometimes the adrenaline can be too much for him. How have you thought he's handled it today?
I got a lot of gratitude for Patrick being in the program and his growth and his development. So he's competing. He looks great out there. He's giving us a chance. We got a 0-0 game in the fourth, so it's a good one.
Really appreciate it. Thank you, Coach.
You got it. Thanks, Chris.
Guys.
Chris, Dan, thank you. And Trent Caraway with that aforementioned hit that Dan McDonnell pointed out. 101 off the bat for Caraway. Second time through, and the first hit for Oregon State off Forbes.
First pitch breaking ball, too, which is pretty interesting. He went up there and looked on time for that. But I also think that tells you maybe they're starting to see the baseball a little bit better. Still a little bit of shadows going on the mound. Looks like the hitters are settling in.
And now Iva Arquette, again projected top 10 pick according to Kylie McDaniel. 6'5" shortstop, Washington transfer. How do you think his defense is at that size?
Well, I think it's been incredible. I talked to Mitch Cano. He played second base last year in Washington, which is incredible. But moving over to shortstop, I think you really get to see the arm strength and some of the different arm angles that we were able to see from him yesterday during the workout. Pretty impressive. I just don't think I was expecting that kind of mobility and diversity with the way he moved at this height. High school hooper, this height, kind of gives you some orange and black, kind of gives you some Cal Ripken vibes. I mean, seriously, like that kind of athlete at that height.
He was the Gatorade Player of the Year in Hawaii in 22 in basketball.
In hoops.
Well, number